bringing to book anybody who go disturb the peace of the country. Now statements where Sierra Leoneans them don't become familiar with, because whenever we can get situations that we can cause tension and sort of audios and we can go around social media, and authority don't they tell the people them. And as you said in states earlier, now you opening statement, you say this not the first time where Adebayor they do this, where it don't they do as a state, waiting government don't they do as na the SLPP in a power for ensure say una get Adebayor under control and stop am from sending them Odoya way according to una the threats in the peace of the nation.
Hey guys, welcome to Salon Update. As we all know, this past few days, the message from Adebayor does send out lots of fear and don't eager the government for response as to waiting to forbid the outcome. Wait on the 19th of June, where the Tripartite Committee go bring out all their findings and their conclusions about all waiting the happening during the June 2023 general election. Well, the government of Sierra Leone find this funny.
Of June this year, people expect say the Tripartite Committee go down the work and then go down pull reports, but waiting them. They can look at concerns them, on the camera people and speculations, expectations and all of that where people get for sake of the Tripartite Committee then work.
Well, as way for make people then get clear understanding but waiting they happen inside the Tripartite Committee, if people can remember after the June 24 elections, plenty issues been come out from the main opposition All People's Congress Party, we say they get issues with the elections result, and plenty kuskas been come out after that. This will make the international community they set up the Tripartite Committee for look inside and concern there as way they come out, especially from the main opposition party. Well, the Tripartite Committee we don't begin their work side and get three co-chair them. One they represent the All People's Congress, and one they represent the government, and self the one they represent the international body them. But since when the work begin, plenty speculation on they come out, especially from supporter and member them of the All People's Congress, but waiting there for be the outcome. And this BNTM na interview we go viral where the US ambassador be do, we see plenty concern we come out from the All People's Congress. Well, at the studio this morning for can help we get clarity, but waiting and waiting they happen. On the line we they get Honorable Alhaji Ibrahim Kemosi say when a senior member from the All People's Congress and self be first minister under the Ernest Baikoma led administration. Good morning, Alhaji, and welcome to the Liberty Breakfast Show.
Thank you for having me.
Alright, continue for the retweet na the program. We will come back to you shortly, but quickly we will go now to the National Public Relations Officer for the Salon People's Party, as this BNTM will see outside them pull a press release, outside they raise concern them say one person waiting at the Netherlands, na Holland for be specific, when they call Adebayor, they threaten the diplomats and the country, and self they threaten them party say that they put violence. This will make the All People's Congress been pull a press release when the Secretary General be sign them.
Alright, well, we continue as another area from Khadija. We get quick updates from the Sierra Leone People's Party SLPP. Outside the Secretary General, when Omar Napoleon Koroma been signed one press release on the 13th of May this year. Outside the party tied to this particular release as violent threats by Adebayor against the peace and stability of Sierra Leone. Well, following know waiting be informed this particular release where the Sierra Leone People's Party SLPP and Secretary General been signed. On the line we get the National Publicity Secretary for the SLPP, Wayna Lahai Lawrence Lima. Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Alright, so we just don't tell with viewers then. We see on the 13th of May, the Sierra Leone People's Party SLPP been pull a release on a title Violent Threats by Adebayor against the peace and stability of Sierra Leone. What to inform this particular press release on a pull?
Well, from the content of the press release, we are signed by Omar Napoleon. It indicates a violent threat done by a notorious individual who actually done in the public space for a very long time, threatening the peace and stability of this country, and over time in actions then you don't get a group of Sierra Leoneans that we don't yield to invoice and we don't cause havoc in this country. We don't claim the lives of other Sierra Leoneans. We even so innocent of the political gimmicks in this country. And so very recently, this very individual we don't call Saidu Will Kamara or Adebayor, whatever they call him, according to the press release we done by Umar Napoleon, he issued out a violent threat against the peace and stability of this country. And in the content of that press release as well, we also attack diplomats. And we think say that not the augur well for democracy, not the augur well for progress in this country. And as a party in governance, we think say we stand the point for make way for decry conduct of that nature and implore the law enforcement body in full force and also make sure say we bring to book anybody we would tend for threatening or violate the peace and stability of this country. And assure the public say there is a government in charge of this nation. We're ready for make sure say the peace and security is guaranteed and protected.
Bringing to book anybody who go distress of the country. Now statements where Sierra Leoneans them don't become familiar with, because whenever we can get situations that we can cause tension and sort of audios and we can go around social media and Atinemo authority don't they tell the people them. And as you said in states earlier now you opening statement, you say this is not the first time where Adebayor they do this, where it don't they do as a state waiting government don't they do as na the SLPP in a power for ensure say una get Adebayor under control and stop am from sending them Odoya way according to una the threats in the peace of the nation.
Well, while you deploy law enforcement, you also go for explore diplomatic channels for see how much you able to work along with the government of the country in which Adebayor actually seek residence, or see how much they were able for bringing actions to book. And I am very certain the last time I remember the Minister of Information trying to talk about that door where they don't pass with help from other countries for bringing individuals within another country, because how a country like I believe it's true. Engagements with the other countries where the individuals and the sick souls they cause havoc. If we properly engage with them, I'm certain they will be of help or bring to justice the one that will the cause havoc. Because when they as Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs, I think countries like Netherlands don't come to Sierra Leone for try for work along with immigration for help for bring back people within the country illegally. So then kind of bilateral discussions can go on, because if one Sierra Leonean in a country, if the immune actions do not promote peace and progress in the country, and it always create tension. Deploying the law enforcement, yes, is sufficient because that is the function of government spelled out by the constitution of this country. But at the same time also, you get to explore diplomatic channels or even try to prevent the act by bringing the individual to book. And once that is done, it serves as a precedent for also deprived others who will want to jump into that kind of conduct. So I think it is a two-way approach. Deploy law enforcement to prevent any cause of action of that sort, and also ventured into diplomatic discussions or bilateral discussions for bring the individuals and they to book by presenting a case where they show clear evidence of them conduct and the way they don't do in this country, bringing out their voice, some of them videos them. And I'm very certain we will reach a decision where we're able to help the peace and stability of this country.
Lima, Adebayor is just an individual. How serious government they take audio way Adebayor the pool, taking into consideration a population of over 7 million, and the government they take a single individual in video or audio way they make allegedly so serious that a whole political party need for pull of statements regarding audio way they say pool.
Adebayor is an individual. One may say, all any position a political party, but if he's speaking on behalf of a political party, and employees get the sort of authority over the employees get the sort of authority and influence over anyone in the way they believe say it is speak on their behalf and are taken to the street for disrupt the peace. You treat them as an individual and bring them to justice. In the course of probing in conduct, other probably latent characters with the support in conduct will come in the process of the legal pursuit, and then you'll be able to know how much the investigations that lead to other people with the support in conduct, and then bring themselves to book. But as it is, within the overtly in we face, nothing as an Adebayor in the face of we, the public, we invoice, the influence a group of people that this country we believe in invoice. And therefore, it is the individual who becomes the obvious target we the law for going for and bring them to justice. Investigations can lead to other supporting elements, then we will bring themselves to book, and I think that we will help for mitigate some of the violent threats that they will go on. Sometimes it don't necessarily mean say you get for even physically happen, but even the tension where you build at the country as well is not good for the country progress. And so some of them things and they need for be stopped.
Lima, na the press release where una party the SLP people who they speak about this morning, it further states for call on the current leader of the All People's Congress APC party and the executive member them for they associate themselves from this possible they talk about Adebayor. But not on the first 10 is the SLPP, they call on the APC for they associate themselves. I remember at one time the All People's Congress pull a press release and they associate themselves say not to the member they not sabi this person, but the SLPP still they call on the APC for the associate themselves from this person. Is it that una na the SLPP get evidence say this Adebayor na a member of the APC or na the APC party they send am for talk wetin e can dey talk?
Well, I don't think you need any evidence beyond the fact say Adebayor they actually claim for the APC member. Not to one, not to two, they don't talk up. Sometimes they be challenge the internal politics of the APC by claiming membership of the very APC itself. And so if overtly intercept don't say they in a member of APC, it is say things them way it creates impact even inside the APC. And whether APC dissociate themselves, then for actually that therefore work for say Adebayor is not a member of them, can they work along with government for make sure say them bring Adebayor to book? I think that if they do that, it will help a long way for sure say, even though Adebayor they claim for be a member of the APC, but the APC executive authority believes the Adebayor is not a member of them. How would they demonstrate a genuine cause of action? They can join force with government for make sure say they take joint action or bring Adebayor to book.
Rumor on social media currently has it that this Adebayor, where the SLPP pull a press release for, don't pull a date and they call on Sierra Leone people and say therefore protest and pull His Excellency the President's power because in belief say he is legal. How prepared as a government for this date where it don't pull?
In the first place, me not can respond to rumor. But take it as it is, if it's anything to go by, then for make you threaten a sitting president in the first place is treasonous. And that is not a conduct to them for take lightly. But also I challenge the law officers department as well, especially the director of public prosecution, for all to take up a stand. I am not decrying anybody in office, but I think the APC with Mr. Suleiman Bardin get some leverage over them kind of conduct they are with people and they do. There are times threats of this nature. In fact, the public prosecution will bring you to book and charge you conduct court. I think that happened in the days of Mr. Suleiman Bardin when he was director of public prosecution. We in the first place even come up with a very strong warning against them conducts and the people in the do. So So at this juncture, I am challenging the office of the the Director of Public Prosecution for come up with a statement also for let the public understand, because waiting they come out clearly as how we don't see things that happen in this country. People not even seem for the respect for the law. If you are addressing anything we get to do with the president, then we just call president a name, tell her any kind of word concept. Some of us were in the space of the public talking. When I directly want to address issues we get to do with President Kroma, I either go around like state house or find a kind of symbolism where I would describe the presidency in what way probably or in policies that were not good for this country, or some of the actions of a government not good for this country. But for goodness sake, that is the highest seat of the land. It carries some level of it carries a very high level of respect. You just cannot come up and begin call president in name anyhow. There are laws where actually they regulate conduct of their nature than this. So for let an individual or group of citizens even go beyond extent for everything they then go control president. No, come on. What's in the law officers department they do? What is the director of public prosecution is doing against conduct of this nature? So people are finding solace because they feel that they do things like this, then they go scot-free with that. And there are laws for make sure say they mitigate some of their actions when they.
Lima, as you dey challenge the authority them now, this particular individual who they talk about, not of today, it begin pull the audio message there since 2018 where una party, the SLPP take up governance. And people can remember so many times, it don't call on people for come out and protest. Example will be the August 10th protest, where many people lost their life and security officer themselves lost their life. Apart from that, it don't call sit at home, where they become successful, people not they come out, picking and not they go na street, businesses they not they old water. Now it don't pull a new date. If not anything for go by, this government of His Excellency President Bio and the security force, how prepared for ensure say innocent citizens they not lost their life?
In the first place, the citizens themselves get to be very strong and believe say there is a government in charge they have elected. If you listen to somebody who live outside Sierra Leone, we not even get the bus for jump on the streets of Freetown, and in live in the comfort of another man in your own country, where it enjoy the peace and security of that country, and then it challenge you and you to listen to them, then you have to question your own existence itself. You get for question your own liberty itself, your own God-given right, where you to enjoy. Or let somebody sit in the comfort of another person in your own peace and security where they provide for them. Then in they tell you for restrict your own freedom we God on you, then you don't get a question. You set up your own conscience or your own cause of your own action itself. So the thing with me they say there is a government in charge. There is a government in charge of this nation, and the government apparatus for be seen working. They for be seen working, and therefore really make sure say are you okay? Yeah, because Adebayor don't say this, not for as far as me concerned, not for give like that kind of physical posture, not for say no, because even that step, the time I say I ain't structure now. There is a way, I'm not going to say much of that in the public here now, but there is a way the security has to do things. Or let also the peace and security of the country also flows in normal time. Or like nobody not feels the Adebayor in directives trying to determine what happens in this country. But an attempt of any sort should be seen in the security coming with a force where it's necessary for put such conduct under control. But the visibility of the force itself not for happen like they are not directly responding to Adebayor threat, but there is a mechanism to put structures in place. You know, see there is a security structure in place, but you venture and then you see the reactions. So like the posture of the security itself not demonstrates the tension itself, but if an action of that sort really take place, let them know say there has been a force we're ready for actually control this. I think as I talk, the security officers know exactly what you have to talk and then know what you for do. We cannot go give that pace of tension in the country, but at the same time, a force go there. You know, they in the face of the public, but they go there for response to any attempt of whatever is happening and then we will get a normal flow of the peace. Now the country where every citizen they go about in normal business.
All right, Lima.
We are not in a state of war, and no act of mafiaism or gangsterism will topple the peace and security of this country. There's a government that has been elected by the people of this country, is in charge. There are security forces in charge. Whoever thinks he wants for lead, let wait after 5 years, will come back to the pool and then conduct himself well. This type of conduct not will make any Sierra Leonean entrust confidence in any political party for make them lead this country. No.
Plenty things we don't think it's time for listening. So we always see things down in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and stay tuned to Salon Up.